Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today is a big day and a video that I've been looking forward to making since Celtic made it through the semi-finals of the Betfred Cup about a month ago now. It is time to talk about the Betfred Cup, the League Cup final. Celtic take on Rangers this Sunday at Hampden, 3 o'clock kick-off. And what is probably, as I have already said to many people, I believe, the biggest Old Firm game since probably that day back in September 2016 where Rangers finally found their way back into the top division. I believe this is the biggest one since. There has been some great results from there, we have been entirely dominant. A majority of the time we have won. But this is the biggest. I just wanted to get a little dig in. This is the biggest. And the one that has the most meaning, the one that has the biggest reward. The one that's just overall got the best atmosphere surrounding it and a lot of rivalry surrounding it. Probably this Sunday is that game. And I'm thoroughly looking forward to being there on Sunday at Hampden for what will be a very feisty occasion. That's the smallest way of putting things. That is the minimum. There's going to be a lot going on Sunday on the park, off the park. It's going to be massive. And let's just get right into breaking it down. It's going to be, a game to remember. And it's got so much meaning for both sides. On one side, you've got Celtic, you've got us, who are looking to secure their 10th consecutive piece of silverware. Massive. That is crazy. And who would have thought it? At the start of this decade, when Tony Mowbray was in charge of Celtic, who would have thought that we'd be going and ending the decade with a potential of winning 10 straight trophies over the span of 3.5 years? No one would have been able to write it. And then on the other side, on Rangers' side, you've got them who want to win their first piece of major silverware since, 2011. It's the first time they've been in a cup final since that day Hibs beat them at Hampden for the Scottish Cup. But it's the first chance to win silverware since 2011. It's madness how the decade has changed for both sides since the beginning, because at the start you had Rangers who were in the middle of winning league titles and winning trophies, and you had Celtic who had Tony Mowbray in charge in a state. And now at the end of the decade, you've got Celtic who have just ran the decade. For the past 8 years, it has been Celtic's country, league title wise anyway, and over the past 4 years, it's just been our country from top to bottom in all competitions. So this is a good way to end the decade for Celtic, the chance to go out and win yet another major league trophy, and the first chance that Neil Lennon has to win his first full cup competition run since returning in the Celtic job. Obviously Brendan Rodgers started and ended the campaign last year, started the Scottish Cup campaign last year as well, and now Neil Lennon has took charge of this whole campaign, so he'll be looking forward to hopefully continuing on with a decent cup final record after beating Hearts in May. His cup final record wasn't amazing when he was here in his first tenure, but winning against Hearts, the start to the season we've had this year, Neil Lennon looking to continue on that red hot form. Now both teams go into this, talk about red hot form, both teams go into this with exactly that. It's not going to be easy. This is, right now, I don't feel it yet. When I enter Hampden Park on Sunday, when I get to my seat and I stand there, the nerves will hit me like a ton of bricks. I will be, I'll be quaking, to be quite honest. No quaking, that's probably a bit too far, but I will be nervous on Sunday. Right now, I still don't feel like I'm very much on the side of Celtic are the better team still, and we should be winning the game, but the nerves are yet to hit. But both teams go into this game red hot form. There's no denying that. Celtic top of the table by only 2 points after last night's results. Celtic rescuing 3 points at the very, very end of the game against Hamilton, while Rangers dropping points at Pittodrie. Didn't expect to see it, but it happened, and now we go 2 points clear at the top of the table. But despite those results last night, despite Rangers dropping points, both teams have started the season terrifically, both domestically and in Europe. Rangers still have to get the job done, of course, but they've still done really well in Europe, considering the group that they were given at the start of the season. But Celtic, let's just talk about our form for a minute. Let's just talk about our form going into this game. We've only lost once in the league this season to Livingston. On a day where we went down to 10 men, we just looked tired. We shouldn't have lost that day. We just didn't turn up. But we've lost once. We have went through this League Cup run with ease. The biggest challenge coming against Dunfermline in that kind of little blip of form. And in Europe, we have seen some of the best football that Celtic have ever played in Europe, ever. Results against Lazio home and away, results against Rennes home and away, beat Cluj, one more game to go. Our season has been absolutely outstanding, and building up to this, there's a reason why Celtic are still considered the favourites heading into this tie. Rangers, for me, yes, they have improved dramatically. They've started the season incredibly well. They do look like a good team, and there are players over the park who can cause a lot of problems. Alfredo Morelos, Ryan Jack, they've got a good team. Alan McGregor, terrific goalkeeper as well. They're scoring goals. They're playing good football. Defensively, I still think they've got work to do in that Rangers side. I still think the game for Rangers is going to be won or lost depending on their centre-half performances. I think Celtic have the quality up front, the quality attacking-wise on the wings as well, to cause their defence a lot of problems. Problems that have flared up for Rangers across, many games this season. You look back a couple of weeks ago against Hamilton, Rangers weren't great. 2-1 win. They weren't, and we weren't great against Hamilton last night either. We only won 2-1, but you've seen defensive issues pop up. And Ali McCoist, I believe it was, after maybe the Hamilton game, it was maybe that game, Ali McCoist after that game said it himself, if the Rangers defence play anything like that against Celtic, they can forget it. They're not going to win this game. So for me, for Rangers, the game is won or lost in that defensive area. Look, as I said, no denying, I know Rangers fans will be watching this, and I know they'll already be typing away, giving me abuse for whatever I've been saying, but for me, Celtic still, across the park, maybe with the closest competition being between Fraser Forster and Alan McGregor, Celtic win position for position. I would I would openly say that Celtic win position by position. Right back to striker, I would take any Celtic player. Morelos would maybe get in there if you switch up to a 4-4-2, but I would still take Eduardo over Morelos. They are a very good team. They have improved a lot, but this Sunday is the game that the pressure is more on Rangers than Celtic. Look, we have came off the back of winning, and this is no me saying we shouldn't be going out to win on Sunday. Of course we should. We should be going out to win every single game. But the pressure on Rangers is this. Rangers have been hyping up this team and saying this, that, next thing about Morelos and how good Ryan Jack is and that, and they're chanting the odds and all the rest of it. Gerrard has yet to prove anything. We still won the league by 9 points last season. We still won every cup in the country last season. We have been the team that have qualified for the last 32 of Europe already and done it by match day 4. Or match day 5 even. We are still the superior team. And this Sunday is and may I add, we beat Rangers at Ibrox at the start of this season. Now this fantastic, amazing Rangers side that we are hearing about, this chance on Sunday is the chance for them to show how much they have caught up in Celtic. The pressure is more on Steven Gerrard than it is Neil Lennon. And as Neil Lennon's already came out and say, a lot of people will come out and say this might set the tone for the season. It's not even Christmas yet, right? Whatever happens for any team this weekend, win or lose, has got to have no impact who lifts that league title at the end of the season. I still believe it's got to be Celtic either way, but it doesn't have an impact. It's not even Christmas yet. And as history goes to show, when the League Cup final was at this point of the year before they changed it to March and the rest of it, it doesn't matter who wins it. It doesn't determine who wins the league title, whether it be Celtic or Rangers. This game is not going to impact who wins the title, but the pressure is on Steven Gerrard. If he is wanting to big up how good his Rangers team is, his Rangers players are, if he wants to talk about how close he is to Celtic and the fans, then this Sunday is their chance to prove it. This Sunday they need to go and do it, or they're going to have to be the ones left with egg on their face. Because Celtic don't need to prove anything. Celtic are the ones still top of the table. Celtic are the ones in the European football after Christmas. Celtic are the ones who've just won 9 trophies in a row. If we don't win this trophy this season, look, this is what I've always said. I've said this from winning the trophies last year, and at the start of this season I've said it too. We don't have nothing to complain about Neil Lennon, right? Because, and this is what I was going to say, but I'm just going to add this in quickly. Neil Lennon, he had his abuse. People abused him. People said he shouldn't have had a job. He's overcame it and he's turned it around fantastically. And despite the result this Sunday, it's not going to change anything. No one's going to turn their back on Neil Lennon. But what I was going to say is, and what I've been saying for so long is this. We don't win this cup, it doesn't matter. Over the next 2 years, our priority is to get 10 in a row. Our priority is the Premiership title. And come the end of the season, if we were to walk away with a Premiership title, No fan is going to cry then, so there's no need for us to cry now. There's no pressure on Celtic, and I firmly believe that. But in saying that, as we wrap up the video, I do believe Celtic are going to win on Sunday. Yes, bias, of course. But I do believe we're the better team, position by position. I believe we are looking better, and I don't see any reason why we shouldn't and can't be winning on Sunday. So my prediction is still going to be a close one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Celtic win. Hopefully Edouard will start the game. We obviously have a few injury outs in there. We've got Johnny Hayes who might be out. We've got Bolingoli who might be out. We've got Elianusi who might be out. We've got Edouard who might be out. You know, there's a few injury issues across the park. I think on the Rangers side, the only doubt is Barisic, which is great because they might have to shove Andy Halliday into the starting lineup. But for me, the goals are going to come from Christie and Callum McGregor. There's the two. I just have a feeling about McGregor. I like McGregor in the Old Firm games. He usually does well. And I'm going to drink my tea as we end the video. So let me know your predictions. Let me know your thoughts. I was going to give my starting lineup, but we kind of ran out of time. But there we go. 2-1 Celtic. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts to my thoughts. And I'll see y'all next time.